Okay, quick shout out to Richard. What's his name? This one. Very good cover there. That's up with Greg Burke's Cephalotus, I reckon. Who is it? Is it Richard Bunn or Nunn? Richard Nunn. There is a Richard Bunn in England who grows CPs too, so don't blame me. There are two CPers. One's called Richard Nunn, and one called Richard Bunn. Richard Bunn is in England, I think. You can look him up on YouTube. So I was slightly confused. You know, when you have two very similar situations, you know, equal opportunity sort of thing, it creates confusion. It's starting to get serious. I thought we were going to go for the if you want to avoid primes, you try and avoid 6x plus or minus 1 something. But since I got now a spoon that's only like 1/3 sort of thing, I did some calculations sort of thing. Now we're going to do today manganese. It's manganese sulfate, but I only put the S because it's too hard to put the 0, the 0 and the 4 on there. It gets lost. So this is a shorthand sort of thing. Just thought I'd better mention that. So we're going to do those. So we're going to give it a bit of a go. It's starting to get serious now. And we'll see if we can get pinking. And if we get pinking, and then in the small demo trials down there, we might do some, and we should get greying if we get pinking, because as I said, over the last few days we've sort of got this one-to-one correspondence, I think, now. So with the grey soils, probably implies that you've got the red organism growing in the soil, or has at some point in time been there. So I'm just going to do the old thing, crack an egg sort of thing, like that, and we'll get our little spoon, well, a big spoon actually, thoroughly washed spoon. But again, if there's any problems, you can always do the experiment again, and you can, if some problem you think with contamination, do the experiment again, try a different spoon, try a different bowl, That's what science is all about. It's reproducibility, and the ability to do things again and again. That's why we always accept Darwin's 800 Drosera rotundifolia plant experiment, because he did so many. You don't need statistics if you go down the Roman empirical path, where you just go and do the work sort of thing, basically. And you do a large sample. Of course, you can also do small samples over a long period of time, a temporal spreading. So in other words, you have small over a long time. It's the same as doing a lot over a short period sort of thing. And from, I think, a biological point of view, it takes in the season, time of day, night time, daytime, seasons, years, annual cyclic events like, with insects that go on prime numbers. So we got the manganese here, which appears to be a bit like your, with the pink sort of thing. It could almost replace your, now we found this doesn't lump the thing, but that was only on the small scale. We might find it might be different here, so we're on the bigger scale, so we'll see if it's going to actually lump the egg yolk. Now the idea of doing it this way, and then I'll add the copper afterwards, but with the chalk, what I'll do is I'll do this, then I'll add the chalk, and then I'll add the copper, because we know that the copper does lump things around, and it could make the spread rather hard. Well, so far it's following the same thing. It doesn't seem to be, reacting with the egg in any great degree, or so that's pretty good at the moment. So we're making like a little slurry sort of thing with our manganese sort of thing. So that seems to be all right so far. So right, well, I think we're done there. Now we can try our calculation with the copper here. This is now. So we've got some copper there, the so-called deadly copper. We don't know with the chalk. We may even have to bring in some zinc, you know, because and it may be true with this. You might find that well, it's certainly the egg has still got the potential to reduce the copper down to the green copper 1. So does that mean the manganese is going to be oxidised up, or is it also being stabilised that way? So I don't know. We're going to have to see, fellas. So, or is the manganese going to stabilise the copper in the green 1+ form? Well, that seems to be all right, fellas. You know, so far anyway. I may just need to scrap some of this stuff off here. Just so we actually nothing sticking there now. Okay, just making sure we scrape it all off, sort of thing, and get it into. I still haven't got it into the. That's what I want. Yeah, it's better. Make sure we get it all there, because otherwise calculations aren't going to be so valid. Well, it's only initial runners, so we can do this again and again and again and again. And then why? What's wrong? I can't get you here. Yeah. Oh my god! I hit Gupta's Gupta. Oh yeah, that was one of my favourite songs as a kid. My boomerang won't come back. Why? What's wrong with him? my boomerang won't. Your boomerang won't come back. My boomerang won't come back. My boomerang won't come back. I wave it. Yeah, makes you just do. I can't even do it now. I'm not missing it. Get out of here, you nasty bushwhacking. Might just have a nice cup of tea. Yeah. Apparently he had a back problem or something. He did some sort of sketch and he got a back problem with Charlie Drake, which sort of put pay to his career in general. Anyway, we'll see how we go. And yeah, my name is George. That's a good one. We'll see how we go. We better make sure we're in the shop though. Oh, maybe go back to general focus. Yeah, oh, yeah. So we can just get it in. Well, it's still saying nice and green. So we'll see how we go. Don't know if that's going to actually grow the organism, or it's going to just go green, you know, like it'll be, you know, before we find out that the red organism is actually just a cyanophyta. It's only red under reductive flammable gas environment. It gets too aerated, it becomes, you know, like the standard cyanophyta, and maybe with a lot of copper it goes glaucous. So if the organism can live in the roots or enter the plant, we might have a chance or possibility of you know, having a blue Venus flytrap. You know, I mean, all bets are off, fellas. If a photograph on the internet turns up with a blue Venus flytrap, you definitely will win the Rothamsted Prize for breaking the calcifuge barrier. At least first back in 2012, but now continuing on to actually hopefully break the copper barrier and show why copper is the highest micronutrient in peat, and yet you say CPs don't like copper, and I think it's all a load of bollocks, really. I mean, and you know, we've got this thing like the emerald isle. Why do they call it the emerald? Because all plants have this strange, almost glowing green, and you look at the pictures of all the Venus flytraps in the so-called Tim Bailey Stuart McPherson. Oh, there's something really odd going on in that Tim Bailey that book. I'm going to have to do a Hans Lambert's approach to Bailey's Irish Cream, I think, you know, with that one. There's a special dictales from the not the honey log wagon, dictales from the toilet sort of thing, you know. It might be a honey log wagon special, depends if we get some building works next year or the year after, but yeah. Okay, we'll see how this goes, fellas. You know, we'll set this up over here. Well, I've already picked out a spot, but you know, I'm going to set it up something like over there, sort of thing, and and then I set up another one there, and we'll see what happens. It might just stay like that, and we've done our dough, sort of thing. We might learn something new, but we might find the actual one with the chalk does actually do it, but it's very slow or something like that, because that also it will also lock down the copper. So we'll see how we go. But if we get any joy, any movement, yeah, before I do this, mate, I'll get the spot colour on this. Yeah, as I said, this one sort of got this strange look, ghostly look. But we got a new picture coming out there, which is going to, I think that one actually might, well, at least it's going to probably equal that one, might get to the size of the other one. But I'm happy about that, really happy about that, considering it's just polystyrene and perlite underneath. That's 50-50, that one, but you know, I'm heading towards 70-50. And these are starting to make a move now. And have you seen the new leaf coming out in here? It's that darker green, sort of jadis almost green, that you see on those plants on the prior to July walk through the onk sort of thing. And it's also very hairy too. So you might find we'll get some really nasty, hairy, ugly looking sort of fly traps, you know, real natural, nasty, well, muckers sort of thing, you know. I was going to use a different word, but you know. So we'll see how we go. But yeah, this one with the iron, definitely greying sort of thing. Yeah, so we'll see. Remember, I originally got blue sphagnum moss a few years ago now, using iron and boron. So you never know. Since we're just going to add the calcium to this one, and it's always going to be basically the same. So no, I think we're going to have to watch it and make sure we get our ratios right. But anyway, we'll end the clip here and we'll do another one. Okay.